So, hi everybody and welcome back. This is a C++ tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 18 and in this video we continue with our riddle program. And in this video we will also introduce an if statement, which is a keyword, and we will start with a simple example which we can use in our riddle. First of all, where we stopped there where we write a plan in comments. We converted this plan, which is our riddle, in code. And the nice thing is it looks like that we start coding, right? When I scroll here down, yes, it looks like a real big program, not so little. And that's cool. Even we don't know much, but we are cool to go. And the nice thing is you see also it repeats much. That's good because we can use them easier and so on. But now let's continue. So the point is here, I stopped on this comment and said I can't write this comment because we need a if statement. Let's read this comment. Here I want, then I will print out the result. Because here I asked the players enter their names, enter their numbers, and then I have to print out the result. And for that I need the if statement, because an if statement is a checker. Let's say this is not a real explanation, but for starters, this is the easiest understanding. If you hear a if statement, which we are going to learn the syntax in a moment, you have to think it will check anything, right? And it will check all time a condition. In our case, it will check if the player number 1 won, or the player number 2 won. Yes, and how it will check this is the thing what we are going to learn right now. So first of all, we write the checker syntax, and the checker syntax starts with a if, and then we have the checker condition. So you say here I check this, what I write in this round brackets, and then here we write first just condition, and this one is not the right word. We have to define the condition, and then the if statement goes very easy. You press enter, it starts with a curly braces, and you see it ends with a curly braces, and this one is called the body. And we already saw this here, right? The int main, for example, he got also a body. It starts here with a curly braces, it ends, and this is the body of int main. And the if statement, the checker, has also the body. So we have more or less two parts here. We have the checker place, which is this one. Here the condition, here we check what we want to check, and then in the body we will do something. For example, we will print out the result in our case. So this one I can already write here because we learned this already, how to print out something. std cout, and then I have to write who won. In our case, I don't know. Don't know. I don't know right now. So we have to do this a little bit. So, but this one we know. Right now I don't know. And if I know after I check the condition, we will change this. Okay, so the problem is here how I check this condition. So, and there is an easy way. The checker checks. There are many different ways to check something, and the easiest way is we compare, right? For example, we have here the player number 1 enters a number, and player number 2 enters a number. I just compare these two numbers. That's why I wanted numbers here to compare. And there are, perhaps you already learned this compare operators from math. You know it perhaps, like, for example, I compare two numbers. First, let me write one number, 5. I want to compare it with 7. And what I have to do is I have to just write in the middle a compare operator. For example, I ask if 5 is greater or less than 7. For example, this less than 7, or, and then, for example, or you can say here this greater sign or equal sign. And these are operators which we learn here at the same time. So we are not learning only the if statements, we are learning actually compare operators too. And in our case, we will learn these operators, compare operators. Perhaps you know them. For example, we have this one and this one, not too much, and this one. So there are much more, but let's learn these 3 compare operators. This one means is less, or is also less than a number. This one is greater than a number, and this one is very important. This one you probably don't see so much in general language, because in programming this double equal sign means actually equal. And I told you that because in programming this equal sign here is called assignment operator, not an equal operator. So if you want to write an equal operator, we have to use double equal signs. All right, we need this one here for the checking of numbers, for example. Of course, we can check words too, not only numbers, and later we learn much more checking cases, but this one is nice for numbers. For example, I want to check now here with this sign the first one number. Let me make here one more example. I check 5 is greater 8. Then I can check with this sign, for example. Let's check this one. I check this one is greater 1, for example. And then I check with this one. Let me check this one here too. Let's check if this one is equal to this one. And here is one more thing important with these check operators. They have a result, right? So for example, here I check, is 5 less than 8? And then I say, yes, it is. So we say yes here. And in computer programming language, yes means true. But we learn this later a little bit more in detail when we talk a little bit more about this checker. I mean about this operators. But this is here just for the if condition. I need this. So then we have here a check, is 1004 greater than 1? Yes, this is also true. Yes means true. The same is the same only in programming language. And I say here, is 10, careful, that means equal. Is 10 equal 34? No. And that is called in programming language false. So all time when you say yes, it means true. When you say no, it means false. But we go a little bit, we will talk all about this later. I just introduced you this fast because I need this for my condition. So, and with that said, we can use now easy a checker condition. And this condition, I say, I know in my riddle, both player will enter numbers, right? The first player will enter his number. The second player will enter his number. And these numbers I'm going to save for player number 1 here. The second player's number, I save number for player number 2 here. And then I make the same thing here. I take here one operator, so compare operator, and then I use the variable. Of course, that's very important to note. We are using not the direct numbers which they entered, because we saved them here. And that's why we have made these variables. We save the variables and we use now the variables. That sounds all complicated. It's very easy. And let me go on a little bit and let me write. What you have to write here in the checker is, okay, in the condition here, it checks now this one. Number for player number 1. This is the first. He entered this one here, number, and check this. Let's say I have to check this. For example, if this is less than number of player 2, which he entered, I can check this. So I check here the entered number, and then depends on the result, which I have not, which is for me, I said after this checker check this one, the programming language will have a result. The programming language will say this is true or this is false. And in our case, we are not saying it. That's very nice. The programming language check this and it says yes or no. And if it's yes, then you can print here something. If it's no, then it will print here nothing, for example. Let me show you what I mean with that. This was not very good explained, but let's go on. So, also number player less than 2, if yes. So this statement is if the body will only be activated after the checker says yes. So when the checker says no here, I will not activate my body. That's it about the if statement, the first version of the statement. We will extend this later, but right now this is. And let's make this example. Let's save this and let me debug this. And sounds all a little bit complicated, but it's not. So here, this is a riddle. Player number 1, enter your name. Okay, I'm Coder. Player number 2, enter your name. Okay, I'm Superman. Okay, player number 1, enter your number. I say a big number. Anything like this. And the player number 2, enter your number. I say a very small number, like this. And we see nothing. And why we see nothing? The point is, number 1 checks if his number is less than the number 2. And I said only if the checker says yes, then it will execute this body. But in our case, I wrote here a big number in the first place, and I wrote a little number in the second place, and then it checks this number. Let me write the numbers which I wrote here. I wrote here, rule set. I wrote here a number like this one. I don't know the number, but anything big. And here I wrote a very small number, right? Something like 4, 5. And then this number was checked, compared. This one here in this condition, I compared. This is a compare operator. So I compared this number with this number, and this condition block said no, this number is not less than this number. This one here is bigger, so it says, so what this checker says, I write no, I say no, and when it says no, I will not print out, I will not go and do my body. For example, I will not allow you to enter this body here. What I said starts from here to here. Let's make this again with a valid information. Oh, I can't. Save first. And let's go here. So let me show you this with a valid. Okay, the name is not very important now. And now I make the number first 5 and the second number, for example, very big 444, and you see I don't know, it's print out. And this time the first number I set here 5, and here I set the second number here, this one I set 444, and then the checker, the condition checker here, this condition here said yes, that's valid. Okay, he said yes, and then he went here down and said yes, okay, you can go and I will execute my buddy. So this is a little bit the start, but let's use that. Now we learned a little bit about this one, and we learned this compare operators. We watched this later again a little bit more, but I needed this just for this if statement. And fast recap, a if statement is a checker, and here in this round brackets you will write the condition, and if the condition says yes, it will enter his body. If the condition says no, I will not enter this body. So we learned this, and now how we are going to use that in our riddle, because this one is not right, because just now I compare two numbers which they entered, but my ask which I wrote here is then I will print out the result, right? Let's the result is not this one because that's not the riddle. So, and that's here a thing what I have to enter too, because I have to define a riddle and we have to ask here a riddle. So I never asked the riddle. So I made here actually a mistake, because I have to say here on top, I said I write a riddle. That's okay. We set this one and this one. Then I said I want the players enter their names. That's okay too. That's fine. But then I said I want that they guess numbers. And here is a mistake, because I want that they guess numbers. But here I have to tell them the riddle first, and then they should guess the numbers. So we are correcting this one. Very important. This one is called later at start. Let's call it at start adjustments. For example, you will not make perfect plans and perfect codes and perfect planning all time. And during programming, you will change your code here and there, and this is called adjustments and development. Yes, this is called also development. So you say here I have an error, or here I want change that, or here I want skip that to pace up, or I add that to make it more descriptive, and so on. And in my case, it was just an error. Adjustment, and we have to tell this how we do this. So here I write one more plan step. I tell 9 here I want tell them the riddle. I want tell them the riddle. So, and how I'm going to tell them the riddle is just easy. We use again our output, the out. Here I write the riddle, and let me find this fast. Yeah, let me find the riddle here, and I don't show you so you don't know the riddle. Riddle number here. There was a riddle which I found. It's very easy. It's perfect. Let's see here. This riddle here. Where is that? Ah, here. This is the riddle name. So, and here I write the riddle. I just wanted not that you see the answer. Perhaps you want play. We want play the riddle, right? We write a programming code because we want to use it, not just for fun. So, and here I wrote the riddle. So I want tell them the riddle. And here it says what becomes smaller when you turn it upside down. This is the question which I'm asking the two players. And very important. And we can test it so far. Let's see what we have here. When I all time check your code. So don't try to write your code till finish. Write all time when you add parts and you say, I have to check this. If all looks right, then check it. Because this is also very important. So not that you think we have to write our code finish and check at the end. That's wrong. That can cause even more problems. It's better to check it all time when you add some code. The reason for that is if you check them when you add some codes, you find first errors at the start, and later, let's say in a bigger program, if you check code in a later state, it can happen that you have multiple errors and then they relate to other errors and so on, and then it's much harder to find them. That's why there is also this strategy. You just add some code. You don't have to be finished. Check the code if it works and then go on. So you find the error fast and later you are finished then. Very easy. So let's check our code. I talked a little bit too much. And let's write here. So what I write is player number 1. Enter your name. Okay. Coder. Superman. Okay. And then what here is the, okay, we have, we should make here perhaps a little bit more descriptive and perhaps a line number to make it stand out. Let's do it. You see, and this is called again adjustments because yeah, you are not happy, right? We are developing this riddle and you say, I want now make it stand out a little bit. And so how I make this, I use this copy again. I'm too lazy to write. And here, for example, let's say, yeah, I'm still too lazy to do much. And I write just here a new line. And I want to do so solve this riddle. Perhaps let's write this one more. Copy. And let's paste this in and try here. And write here as a description. Solve this riddle. And here again, oops, I wrote this wrong. And this one is also wrong. And then we write here a semicolon. Perfect. And save this. So, and here I made again an adjustment a little bit. And now I test this again and see if it works. Yes, it's okay. I could make here also an line space. Let's do this as well because we want, yeah, we want a little bit that it looks right. So we have here a new line. Why was this not already a new line? Let's make here one more. Okay. And compile. And what's going on? As oh, was already working. That should you not do, but okay. It's fine now. And now, okay, this is a riddle. Oh, it looks better, right? Coder, adjustment made. And then we have here Superman. And then, oh, this one looks still not good. I want here also one line. Okay, we adjust it and try to make this adjustments too when you develop a code, when you write a code. Where was it? Let's adjust it. Of course, I should solve the riddle here. One more line code here, perhaps to make it visible. Nice. And then compile. And yeah, again, okay, this is a riddle. Cool. Coder. Fine. The Superman. Okay. And solve this riddle. And now, what becomes smaller when you turn upside down? And here I forgot again a new line. Okay. That is, yeah. What becomes smaller when you up and down? We add here a new line. Nice. And I show you this one so long because this is also for development. We are not just learning keywords and coding. This is also a little bit development. Of course, this is not the idle state. I just made it here. So, but this works. And you see, now we have here coder again, and then Superman. Yeah, this looks a little bit better. You see, we have here lines. I can read it fast, and here, okay, here one more perhaps, but this one is really the last one. Okay, player number 1. Let's do this here too. All right, you'll see. Yeah. If you have this, but this one is really called development code, and Superman, because this one is just adjustment. I want to have it so, and I want to make it more readable for the customer, and then you adjust it here and adjust it here. So player number 1, enter your number. So of course, here is the riddle, right? What becomes smaller when you turn it upside down? And now they are trying to guess it, and they must guess here a number, right? And let's say he says 4, the other says 1, and I print nothing out because we are back to our if statement. This one is not even solving our riddle because I have not write it properly, because we missed still a step. And what step we are going to miss is, I said this checker will check, for example, the numbers, but we made here a mistake, right? We are checking the numbers of the players. That's not, that can't solve the riddle, right? That makes no sense, because the one said one number, the other said one number. We have to check this numbers to the result of the riddle, which means what we have to do, think about it, it's very easy. We have to create a variable with the riddle number, and we learned what we do. We scroll down, scroll up to variables, and this one we write again a number. We make here perhaps a little space and write int and riddle number solution. And you see again, I wrote again a long variable name because I want read one time it, and I want exactly know fast without thinking too much what I'm going to put in. Okay, the riddle number solution. Okay, or number riddle solution. You can make it how you like it, but just make it descriptive, right? It must be descriptive. And riddle number solution. Okay, riddle number solution. I made this. We have still here one problem. What is this code? Think about it. This one is called a declaration, but I need to assign it, right? The value. And in our case, for example, number player 1 and number player 2, we have to ask the players. But in this case, we don't have to ask the players. So what we are using here the we make here a direct initialization with our copy initialization, which is we make here this equal sign, which is the assignment operator. That's why I said careful about the operator. This one is equal and this one is assignment. And we assigned the solution. So what is the solution of this riddle? I don't tell you. I write here wrong solution, but we treated it as a real solution. Try to find here as a fun fact. Try to find out this riddle for you, and let's continue with our correction. So of our if statement. So the problem is here, we have no problem. We have now the number for the riddle number solution, and we are back here, and I want now change that because this makes no sense. I compare here the number of player 1 with player number 2. I have now actually another problem. So what is the next problem? I have to compare one time for this player, and I have compared one time for this player, and that is another problem, right? And how we can solve that is there are different ways, a little bit advanced ways, which I want not introduce here because we have already introduced operators. And that's why I try to make a simple solution, which is, First of all, you say we will use the equal operator. I say player number 1. Is your number the same as, not the player number 2, because that's make no sense. I say, is your number the same as the riddle number solution? All right. And then I write here the variable riddle number solution. And this one is our checker. And if the checker says now yes, we will print out this one. And in this case, player, we write here. We have here learned something new. We have get here the name of the player number 1. So, and how we print out the name of the player number 1 and a text, you should know this. But I write it here. I hope if you want, you can pause this and try this. Write the player's name here and the text. The text is very easy. The text should be something, something like you won. You are right. Something simple. You are right. We make it not too complicated here. You are right. But how we add a variable to our output, you should know this. And we make it this way. We write just name of player number 1. So how I call that name, player 1. Good. Name of player number 1. I use the variable. I use this one, and I use here a space because this one I put this time in front. This one come later, and here I use perhaps a colon and not this one. And then you are right. You are right. Congratulations, perhaps. Congratulations, you are right. So, and this is for one person. So let's test this one. If we did any mistakes, and so we have to test this a little bit. Okay, coder and Superman are trying to play each other. And then here is the description. Solve this riddle. What becomes smaller when you turn it upside down? 11, I say. And player number 2, enter your number. I say 67. And coder, you are right. Congratulations. I am right. I am right. And why I am right? Because here riddle number solution is 11. And here number or for player number 1, I have the same. It says yes. Also, if the checker says yes, it will execute this one. If this checker says no, it will not execute this one. Let's finish this one for the second player too. So this one, let's write the same. We can just copy this one actually. Copy this one, go down, paste. Of course, you can type this one for learning, not like me. Don't make this like me. Let's start type this to learn, because you need learn here if, and this curly brackets open, and then right here the condition and so on. Control Z to make this back. And here I just change here the number for player 2. And here I change the variable because now I want print out for the player number 2. And you are right. Let's see. When I compile this one again, save this for Control S, then compile this one. Wait, it's not working. This one. Let's start this one. So, and then here again, fast this one, coder, Superman. And we will have perhaps here a mistake, but let's see. I write both 11, so now both are right. And we see coder, you are right. Congratulations, Superman. You are right. Congratulations. Boom, boom, boom. Good, good. Both are right. Here we have to write perhaps again our new line to make it a little bit more we can make this all time. Not really. This is style. This is just style, which you can do later. But this works. But we have, I think this video is long, but let's make here the last thing, one more thing, because that's very important, I think. So you see, this was right. When this one says checker yes, then I will do this. But what happens if this say no? It's very easy. This will not happen. But perhaps we want execute here something more. For example, when it's wrong, I want to write a wrong message, right? And this one we can't do here with this if. We can do this with this if statement, but we have to extend it, and I think there we will start in the next video. In this video, very important is this is the if statement, which we use just to print out, for example, we'll activate one body only if this checker says yes, right? This is so the thing which you should know here. And of course, this little operators, this one means equal, okay, very important. This one is less, and this one means greater. But let's continue in the next video, because there is more to tell, and this video was already long. So bye.